Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Charles Sebastian, and welcome you guys to another episode of the DREAMERSPRO show. We cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, entertainment, and we give you guys a fresh perspective on things and how we see them. And today we got a continuation of this crazy story here surrounding Shannon Sharpe. But before we get into it, please make sure you like the video and sub to the channel. So, Shannon Sharpe has been making headlines for all the wrong reasons. This really kicked off when the bombshell news dropped that he was being sued by, for $50 million by a young lady that he had sexual relations with, but that was just the first one. As soon as that news came out, it just began to get messier and messier by the second. Next thing you know, text messages were being published online on his Instagram page, and then more details started to come out, and then the audio came out. We did a live reacting to that sound that came out. And then yesterday, as I was going through the internet, I came across a pretty startling report, right? A pretty startling report that essentially says that Shannon Sharpe had initially offered this young lady $10 million to settle. $10 million. Now, if you pair that with the audio and all of that stuff, and Shannon Sharpe himself saying that, look, you shouldn't be surprised that they're going to release a sex tape that's going to be heavily edited. And when he said that, I was like, wait, now we got a sex tape on the way. So for those of you who didn't hear what Shannon had to say when he issued his first public statements, I want to play that for you now, and then we're going to come back and continue on the show. Take a listen to what he had to say there about this sex tape that we should all be expecting. Take a listen to that.
To my family, friends, supporters, and colleagues, I want to speak to you directly and from the heart. This is a shakedown. I'm going to be open, transparent, and defend myself because this isn't right. This is all being orchestrated by Tony Buzbee, who has targeted Jay-Z. Tony Buzbee targets black men, and I believe he's going to release a 30-second clip of a sex tape that tries to make me look guilty and play into every stereotype you could possibly imagine. That video should actually be 10 minutes or so. Hey, Tony, instead of releasing your edit, put the whole video out. I don't have it, or I would myself. You know what happened, and you're trying to manipulate the media. The encounter in question took place during the day at her invitation, and now that appears to be a deliberate setup, coordinated by Gabby, also known as Carly on OnlyFans. Gabby and Tony Buzbee want $50 million. What they're getting is sued for defamation and trying to take me down. My career is all about real talk and honesty. I know my family and fans know exactly what this is about.
Fantastic. So you heard what he had to say. So this report now about him offering her $10 million to settle, I think, is an even crazier one. And we actually want to read from two sources today. The first source we're going to read from is Front Office Sports, and it has the headline saying Shannon Sharpe offered Accuser at least $10 million to settle. And then we're going to be reading from page 6. And it says Shannon Sharpe allegedly offered our accuser $10 million to settle before she filed $50 million lawsuit. So these are the two articles I want to read from because both of them give similar but also different information in them. But before we even get into what these reports had to say, today's video is brought to you by our sponsor, Game Time. One of the things I love the most is making unforgettable memories with family and friends. And one of the things I hate the most is overpaying for tickets only to find out that there was a better deal out there. That's one of the reasons I started using Game Time. Game Time is the easy go-to app for last-minute tickets to sports, concert, and theater events across 60+ states in the US and Canada. Game Time saves me time, money, and stress by curating only the best deals, so I'm not wasting a whole bunch of time scrolling through overpriced tickets. Game Time Picks is my favorite tool. It highlights the best value seats instantly. No more guesswork, no more wasting time. For example, I am super excited about this Game 2 matchup between the Los Angeles Clippers and the Denver Nuggets. Here's what I like to do. I turn on all-in pricing so I know exactly what I'm paying for upfront. I check game time picks to find out the most valuable deals. And finally, I pick the ticket I want. I choose between the cheapest deal, the great deal, or the amazing deal. Once you select the ticket you want, you can use their panoramic seat view to ensure you know exactly what you're getting before you buy. So take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the app, create an account, and use code CLNS for $20 off your first purchase. Again, create an account and use redeem code CLNS for $20 off. And remember, whenever you support this sponsor, you're supporting this channel. Thank you. Okay, so first of all, let's get into this front office sports article. It says Shannon Sharpe and his legal team are aggressively contesting our allegations from a woman in a Nevada civil suit. On Tuesday, lawyers for the woman released audio of what appeared to be Sharpe threatening to choke her. Sharpe and his lawyers, Lanny Davis, responded by accusing the woman's lawyer of racism, outing the woman as an adult content creator, and saying they would be suing the pair for defamation. The ESPN commentator and Pro Football Hall of Famer released a video on Instagram calling the suit a shakedown on Tuesday. Davis, a longtime political operative, said the accuser turned down a settlement offer of up to $10 million in mediation before suddenly filing suit on Sunday night. The former advisor to President George W. Bush and Bill Clinton challenged Busby to hand over the tape to a third-party expert of their choice to discover if it was edited or doctored in any way. But he did say Sharpe and the plaintiff engaged in sexual role-playing. He admitted his client used the word choking in the heat of the moment, but Davis said it was not intended literally. Previously, Davis released salacious texts, which he said reinforced that the couple were in a consensual sexual relationship. By the end of their relationship, Sharpe was paying the plaintiff for sex, according to Davis. It is our opinion that this is a classic case of blackmail. The plaintiff demanded tens of millions of dollars in a proceeding that's called mediation, in return for her not publishing this tape, which she showed the lawyers for Mr. Sharpe, said Davis. The lawyers for the woman, Tony Busby, told reporters Monday that the texts are from prior to the alleged brutal assault. Busby represented dozens of women who settled sexual assault allegations against then Texas quarterback Deshaun Watson in 2024. He also represented a woman who accused Jay-Z of R-ing her. That case has since been dropped, but the rapper is now suing Busby for extortion and defamation. Sharpe referenced that suit in his address on Tuesday. Tony Busby targets black men, Sharpe said in a 1-minute video posted to his social media account. So good, we got that. Now I want to read from this other article here. And it continues on, and it says, this is the pertinent information here. It says, attorneys from both sides agree that Sharpe and the woman who filed her suit as Jane Doe entered into mediation to try to resolve the issue. Lanny Davis, who currently represents Sharpe, claimed to Front Office Sports on Tuesday that Doe demanded tens of millions of dollars in return for her not publishing a sex tape that both sides agree exists. However, Doe's attorney, Tony Busby, told Page 6 that Sharpe offered his client $10 million, but she rejected that offer to settle and decided to file the suit on Sunday. It then continues on. Listen to this information here. Busby claimed, back in early February, our office contacted Mr. Sharpe on the behalf of Jane Doe and broached the subject of a meeting. Multiple conversations took place. Ultimately, a mediation occurred. According to Busby, Sharpe, who's 56, was represented by different lawyers in the mediation. The mediation process went on for more than 6 weeks, ultimately leading to Mr. Sharpe making an incredibly significant offer to settle. However, Doe allegedly refused the hefty sum offered by Sharpe and instead filed the case. Davis has not yet responded to Page 6's request for comment. Further details from mediation conversations, if any, are unknown. So, folks, look, you've heard what these reports had to say there. Okay, what are my thoughts about this? This is damaging. This is damaging. Because essentially what all of this is painting Shannon Sharpe is as some person that just basically, somebody that tried to take advantage of this woman. And that audio didn't help of him saying, I'll choke the SH, you know what, out of you. That didn't help. Number one. Number two, if we look at this from a macro level, this is not helping his career. I know some people say, oh, press ain't bad press. This is bad press. And the fundamental reason this is bad press is, number one, because he works for ESPN, which is a Disney-owned company. And number two, he was essentially gearing up to sign a $100 million extension with the Volume Podcast Network. How can any of this be positive when the whole way you make money in podcasts through downloads is from the sponsorship dollars you make? Do sponsors want to be associated with this type of raunchy madness? Honestly, is this something that they want to be annexed to? And the part that just absolutely floors me is the fact that Shannon is always somehow, some way connected to some nonsense. Somehow, some way. If it's not the situation that took place at the Lakers game when he tried to fight the Memphis Grizzlies players, is the situation with the Michelle audio that I believe is coming back to bite him. I supported Shannon Sharpe for years, and I've been one of the people that has said for years that he would make more money in the next 5 years than he ever did as an NFL player, and I was 100% correct. But the minute that video came out, I said, this is now gone into the realm of the ratchet section. That's what I said. I said, he is too big for this. And people were like, oh, no, it's a mistake. It's a mistake. And I remember tuning in that night with 164,000 concurrent viewers watching. And as the live started, he had a pre-recorded ad of a sex product. And I'm sitting there saying to myself, I thought this was supposed to be a live where you address the issue and apologize for it. Instead, he was there bragging about it. And I'm like, I'm confused here. And the minute you open up yourself to that type of nonsense, you have situations like this. How do I know? Because in the initial statements from when the case first dropped, she said that he recorded some of their sexual encounters and showed it to people without her consent. Now, I don't know how much credibility she has, because here we have her recording him without his consent. But for the simple fact to even have a video out there like this, and you're at that level, is madness to me. Absolute madness. There's no way to spin this in a positive direction. And the moment public opinion shifts, it's over. Go ask Diddy. And Jason Whitlock brought up a good point, and he said this. He said what Tony Busby is banking on is that if this lady has come out, more women will come out and start saying Shannon Sharpe did X, Y, and Z to them. And when that happens, it will be like an avalanche. An avalanche. So this thing is a mess. There's no way to say, there's no other way to sugarcoat it. It is a mess. And the woman turned down a $10 million offer because she saw that he was about to sign a $100 million deal. And she said, instead of 10 million, give me 50. Now he got to deal with this mess. These are my thoughts. Whatever you guys think, please leave your thoughts and comments in the comment section. We catch you on the next show. Peace.